We're going to talk about this Caldwell Velociradar or whatever. I purchased this about a month ago, and as I've been saying, my range has been closed. And, when I was told 2 weeks, I think he got it mixed up because it's going to be 2 months before the construction work is done. So I do not have a place to set this up and check it out. But in the meantime, the first video I made about this, I got a comment from someone saying that this thing didn't work whatsoever for him. Okay, and he sent it back to Caldwell, they sent it back, and he still can't get it to work. And this is gonna have me make another video. I'm gonna talk about influencers on gun channels on YouTube. I mean, everyone says that this is the greatest thing, blah, 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 everything else, and all of these videos, they're at the SHOT Show, they're showing you this, okay, but nobody takes it out, really, and shoots it. So, filtering through, I did find a couple videos. I found one where a person was shooting this. Now, he had somebody else with him. Now, I don't know if this individual knew how to set this thing up, and they set it up, and they were shooting at a steel plate at quite a distance. Now, the problem with me with these older guns is the sights are usually set for 300, 400 meters, so at the 50-yard range where I test my ammo, okay, I have to do a little adjustment to the sight picture, getting it on the bench. Now, I think where the rub is sighting this in or lining this up. This is the part that faces you. Okay, in these units, this is the radar and antenna. And how you would set this up is it's just a peep hole here. You would line this up, and they do send a card telling you that this is how you line it up and put this dot in the center. And they do say it's set for 100 yards. So, I tried setting this up with an air gun, so I did try using this. I'd say 25 yards. I put a cardboard box and then sitting on a table, sitting with the air gun on a rest, looking through the peep sight, I centered the little box with the target as well as I could in the peep sight. The problem is I don't know the range of this radar beam. And another thing, if there's something offset or set to the side, like maybe a post on the thing at my gun range, this may interfere with this radar and throw it off, make it not function. And the fact it was an air gun, I had to hook up the trigger, the recoil trigger. Now this thing came there and they tell you, put it on a bow, put it on this part of a compound bow, or an air gun, or if a gun, because I guess if you use acoustic, if somebody else is shooting, it'll throw this machine off. So the air gun, Benjamin air rifle, an old gun, so this wasn't one of them huge fancy guns, it's an old little pellet gun. I hooked this on there. And they give you no instructions. This Velcro strap is wrapped on there, and I believe, it took me a while to get it off, you have to expose the trigger, because I tried doing it with the strap and part of the strap was over it and it didn't work. You have to expose this plate and make sure it's touching to the stock or whatever. And it is a little switch. So you put the hard part down, you tighten, and the strap's got to be tight, and then when it recoils, it probably flexes and pushes this little button, I guess. I don't know how it works. And they really don't they show you where to mount it on the gun, but they don't give you instructions on how to affix it. Should it be really, really tight, and all this other stuff. They don't do that. And I believe it was working, because what I ended up getting is I'd fire the pellet gun. I had to go and pump it, then go and strap this to the barrel where the pistons are, so there'd be a recoil. So I have to put it on, put it off each time I fired it. And when I fired it, the unit would tell me that it was triggered, and it would do this thing, and a little screen would come up, but saying it didn't see the projectile. So the projectile was not flying into the radar waves, I guess. So when they give you the hype that this is simple to use, it's easy, and in a way turning it on, charging it, downloading the app, all of that stuff's pretty simple. Okay, and putting in your parameters, it's just a matter of navigating with the buttons. Okay, in the front here, you do all that from this, and that's pretty easy. Okay, that part's pretty true. You can figure that out after a bit. But the thing is, aiming this, and the reason these units are bigger than the Garmin, even the older one prior to this, is the antennae in there, I guess, gives it this larger size. So how this beam is traveling, and they say it's calibrated to this peep sight, and it's just, you know, you line it up. If you're off to one side, you line it up, and it's a round hole. And then again, 100 yards. Okay, which, if it's coming out like a cone, yeah, out to 100 yards, then you got a big ass field for this hit. If you're going closer, like with a handgun, the most, you know, the closest or the farthest I'm going to go is 25 yards. You know, this is where your optical unit may be better. So I don't know. But my first attempt with it, I believe it's working. It's just, I believe, trying to aim this thing, and you have to have it on a steady platform. This ain't exactly the most rigid thing that there is. That's a little better now. You gotta just tighten this up. I don't want to over crank anything on this. But it has to be stable and aimed through this thing here. And you center the center of the target with this, and supposedly it works. So I don't know. But I got another, maybe estimated, another week or so, and then I'll try to get out and take something I know is sighted in, set up a target, and try to get this aligned and try to get this to work. But I've already been warned that somebody had an issue like that, which maybe he was setting the target up too close, and you know, if I have no success at 50 yards, I will go out with a gun that I know is sighted in and try this at 100 yards, okay, and see if I can get a better effect. But that's my first report, so we'll see. It's too soon to make a conclusion, but I'm already seeing where this is going to be finicky and kind of a pain in the ass in one way. Alright, hit the like button, subscribe, and stay tuned.